Prior to making the move to the River City, Tennika spent 5 years working in her home state of North Carolina as an anchor and reporter for WSOC TV, Action News Jacksonville's sister station in Charlotte. She has worked at stations in Memphis, Tennessee, and Macon, Georgia. Tennika graduated summa cum laude with an undergraduate degree in mass communications from Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina. She holds a master's degree in journalism with a concentration in television broadcast news from the University of Maryland at College Park. A capable, confident, and eloquent spokesperson with a passion for education, mentoring young people, and finding solutions for issues affecting families in need, Tennika Hughes will speak to us today about the benefits of effective communication. Distinguished guests, area directors, club officers, and members, I present to you Tennika Hughes, the benefits of effective communication.
Thank you very much. I hope I live up to the expectations. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to start off because I know George is here, so I have to start off by saying this. I'm going to say it. I know you're going to count them, but I'm going to say it. So I had to get that out. So you got a couple free ones I threw in there. So first of all, thanks again so much for allowing me to come here today and talk to you about the benefits of effective communication. Obviously, being in the news industry, I'm going to talk to you about how it applies to what I do every day, because I do believe that there are things that I do in the way we apply our communication techniques to you and how you can apply them in your lives and communication across the board. The benefits of effective communication, I believe, impact your audience. So the first benefit to effective communication for your audience is that they will be informed. In the news business, that's our number one goal, is to tell stories and put information out there, whether it's about Tropical Storm Erica, whether it's about a car accident that's going to have you getting home late, whether it's about violence in your neighborhood, whether it's about a recall on a car. Our primary goal is to get information out there to you that can be beneficial to your families. And in terms of that information being informative in journalism, we have principles that we try to apply. What makes something newsworthy? Is it timely? Proximity, does it hit close to home? Why will people care about this information? So as you're crafting your messages to your different audiences, think about what message, what information that you're trying to convey to them. A big part of that is also knowing your audience. If you are doing a researchy type of topic and you're talking about, I don't know, chlorophyll. I don't know, I'm just thinking of a science term. You want to make sure that you're catering it to an audience that's going to care about that. If you, let's look at, for example, reality TV. They know what audience they are catering to. You're going to have wig pulling, fighting, he say, she said, baby daddy drama, all kind of shenanigans. But people watch it and they love it. But these people know their audience. So if you're talking to school children, you want to know your audience and you want to cater that message to your audience because you want them to be able to receive the information that you're trying to put out. In television news, a lot of times we try to write for people that can be anywhere from 3rd to 8th grade. You know, we try to speak in conversational terms so that even a child can understand the gist of what we're trying to say, because that's important. So you want to make sure that your audience is informed. That is a benefit of communication. The second benefit of effective communication would be that your audience would be engaged. And again, you have to know your audience. That is a critical point for all the things that I'm going to tell you. Keeping your audience engaged, you can use a variety of things to do that. It could be props, displays, PowerPoint presentations. It could be your actual content. I just talked about reality TV shows. It could be the content that you're putting out there. The biggest, I personally believe, factor in effective communication in terms of engagement is you. When I sit on the set at night and I'm reading these news stories, I could easily say, you know, tonight 2 children were gunned down in a West Side neighborhood. or tonight Fifth Third Bank was a victim of a robbery, or I could speak that way and just kind of just read to you what happened. But if I say tonight 2 children were gunned down in their backyards, you feel something different. You're going to receive it different. I work in an industry where you are running after your 2-year-old, you are trying to put a pot of coffee on, you're helping with homework, you're cooking dinner, you're probably on your phone or tablet, and so you're busy doing a million things, and so it's my job to try to say something in a way that makes you stop and say, wait, what did she say? Hey, be quiet, let me listen, something's happening on the news. And I do that with my voice, I try to do that with my facial expressions, I do that with my tone, because you can say, Tropical Storm Erica is headed toward Jacksonville. We're going to need to evacuate really soon. And that makes it sound amazing. So that just shows you the power of just you and your delivery and how you get that message, because that affects your engagement of your audience so much. The third thing that I believe is a benefit of effective communication, and probably one of the most important, is your ability to influence your audience. So inform your audience, engage your audience, and influence your audience. We are in a heavy political season right now. I don't know how many of you tuned into the debate on Fox? Yeah, 24 million people tuned in to the debate on Fox. And I bring up politics because when you hear these folks talk, they're trying to influence you to do what?
Vote.
Vote for them. When you're a teacher in a classroom and you're talking to your kids, you're trying to influence them to do what? Study, learn. If you're a parent and you're talking to your kids, you're trying to influence them to do what?
What I said.
Pay attention, listen, stop running, sit down, and whatever else. So the ability to influence your audience to act. In the news industry, we tell you different things that we believe are important for you to know and that could affect your lives. We try to do that in a way that our goal, journalism goals, say that we should present information in a way that's accurate and fair. So we try to get both sides of the story, and we try to just do it in a way to put that information out there so that you can make your own conclusions. Now, obviously, we know that there are programs that have a more editorial slant, and they kind of swing one way or the other. But in local news, generally speaking, and from my station, we try to just present the information, give you the facts, and let you make your own decision. We have had people who have seen, for example, the tragedy that happened yesterday in Virginia with the news crew, who will see a story like that, or what happened with that 8-year-old girl in Arlington, and call and say, how can I help? What can I do? Political season, these folks, they're sending you these messages, and you hear them giving these speeches because they hope that they can say something that will compel you to vote for them. That is a power in that, being able to give your audience information, keep them engaged, to tune in and continue to listen to what you're saying, and at the end of the day, that possibility that something that comes out of your mouth can influence them to actually take action and do something in their lives. It is a very powerful thing, and it's nothing that I take lightly in my line of work. And I know right now the microscope is on the news industry, but with what happened yesterday about kind of how we do our jobs, and feel free, we can talk about that later when we have questions, but how we do our jobs, how we go about getting information, and the day-to-day things that we do out in the field. But I do believe that a lot of what I do in TV news can definitely cross over to real life. My husband probably doesn't agree or doesn't like that, because he's always like, stop interviewing me, because I ask him a million questions. Come on, I'm trying to dig deeper and understand, and I want to know more. But a lot of things that we do on a day-to-day in a newsroom, I do believe that you can apply it to no matter what audience that you're talking to. Because, as I'm talking to you right now, I'm thinking about some of the things that I do at work and how you can apply that to your everyday life. The only difference is you don't have a camera and a microphone, and hopefully you're not knowing somebody knocking on an office door. But again, I just think I want to drive home the power of communicating effectively and how you can change lives. You can even use it to entertain. That's another one. That's the fourth, I guess, 4.8 point down on my list. You can use it to entertain and really touch people's lives, whether it's a charity event, whether it's just a seasonal event, just some feel-good event. Even in this atmosphere, it's a lot of good energy. Everybody's shaking hands and hugging, and it's the way you guys are greeting each other. It's the way that you all speak to each other that can evoke such good emotion and such good feelings. So that's another thing. You can just really change people's lives and influence them to make choices and take action that can ultimately change their homes, change their communities, and just really change the world. I know that might sound really Walt Disney, but that's what I believe. So my speech is very short because I really want to make sure that you guys have time to answer ask any questions that you have so that I can answer them thoroughly, because I've done these a couple times and the questions are always so great, so I just want to make sure that there's a lot of time for that. But again, use your voice, use you as a vessel to inform, to engage, to influence, hopefully to empower, and maybe, if you're lucky, entertain as well. So thank you so much for allowing me to come and talk to you this morning, and I definitely welcome any questions, any conversations that you guys have.